Hello and welcome. The Construction Sport podcast is back, and I didn't mess that up this time. I keep messing it up. Ash Howard from the Kiely Group.
Hello.
Thanks for coming down. Technically down, I think.
Yes, down. Long way down.
People are making some miles for us now, actually. So we've had Aberdeen this week, and we've had a few Birminghams, Telford a few months ago.
Very nice.
Shropshire last week. We're putting
Half a miles out there, really.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get a second studio, I think.
Building some pure diesel. the green footprint don't look too good at the moment, but everyone's happy. All going well? The Kiely Group?
All well. Busy, very busy for many reasons. Really good year, but also just sort of, we've spoken off air previously about some real good movements that we're making. On and off the field, so to speak.
Yep.
So within the work and then more like people. So really good.
That's cool, isn't it?
Positive work, man.
Super. Cheers for getting you, because you reached out to me a little while ago, didn't you? And popped up, so can you come on the pod?
Yes.
I was like, oh, this is cool. It's interesting. And then Chris Rogers come in and sat exactly where you are. And he said, I was on a pod last week. And I said, he said, there's a guy called Ash Howard. And I was like, I'm going there next week.
It's new to us, to be honest with you, because my whole thing is, and I never claim to be like a world beater or anything like that, so I'm going to change the world and everything like that. But from my sort of past experiences, I never used to talk about anything. It's only when I've got older that I think you need to talk. And my little win is if I do that pod, and we're releasing the first one over Christmas now, so it'll be really, really good. Yeah. We had Chris Rogers and his mate Chris on there too. And we ended up going for 2.5 hours. So it's a learning experience for us.
But I think it's important that you just don't stop on it.
Yeah. And we carried on, so we're doing something a bit different. So funnily enough, you were on our second one. We're going to release that as the first full one.
Cool.
And then the one that we were with Chris, we're splitting up into like nice snippet bits, because we thought it'd be important not to miss anything.
Yep.
But also we know that someone's not going to sit there for 2.5 hours and listen to our podcast. So
you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
We had one of our most viewed ones last year. It was a Christmas special. It was 3.5 hours long, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah. When I spoke to, and I was like, why? How? I was like, not only why is it? Well, how are people got that time to watch it? But a few people were like, I watched it on YouTube. Then I got in the car to drive to work and listen to it.
That's my big thing. Just switching off, listening to something in the car to me. But so we're going to split it up. We're going to do something a little bit different with it, which is quite cool, actually. It's more going to be like an introductory snippet bit. Yep. And then ours is going to be the first full one. And then we've got some exciting people that we do it different. My win is if someone sees it and is able to talk out of it. Yep. As in, actually, it's not embarrassing to talk. It's not anything like that. Yeah. Other people have got similar sort of stories. That's my win. We're looking at it from a different view. We've had yourselves come on, talk about what you do and also your past experience. Yeah. But we're going to mix it up. We're going to be asking challenging questions to some challenging people in tier one companies, and then we're also going to we're celebrating, because sometimes it's easy to what's the word? We can challenge what people do, but there is companies out there that do a lot. So we're also celebrating the companies that do a lot as well, and the people that do a lot. So very much challenging questions, celebrating, and then get to nitty gritty, sort of why people do it, what's their backstory. Yep,
because that's what people want to do, don't they? They want to hear from these these places at the top, these powerful people. It's almost important for people to realise that they're humans as well, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, because we always look at them as robots. We're following the book. We're following the book, but some people have actually got a different way of thinking. So it's nice to celebrate that, really. Yeah. So. The
studio is impressive as well, wasn't it? I like that. Come back and showed the boys.
Did you?
I look at all the local industrial estates after that thing.
Well, that was brilliant, actually, to be fair. And that came off out of the back of nowhere. I had a round of golf with Neil Levitt, who you met on the day, who works in down in... He's based out of Essex as well, so he's local to you. Yeah. And he mentioned it too, but it's actually some people that we work with who do a lot of work for us, as in, the nice little promotional videos you got of the work that we do and the sector and stuff like that. So, and then they've opened up a thing. They've got their own little podcast that they do, so they've got to set up, and they're evolving as we are. So their setup's getting better and better every single time. So it's quite cool. It's a cool little space, to be fair.
It is, isn't it? And I still think everyone's in even as we've been doing it a year now, but we're all at an early stage of this construction world, isn't it? Someone said the other day, there's a fear of AI taking over construction. And we're like, these construction companies haven't even got websites. The last thing they're going to do is embrace AI.
Yeah, I'd like to see AI carry some bricks up a ladder for some reason. But it's I don't think so. I don't think it's good. I think that's a long, long way off. Not unfortunately.
They'll take the supermarkets before they take us.
Exactly. Well, they're already doing it. I used to work in a supermarket. And trust me, you need more people to man those self-service. It's carnage.
All these kids with a load of booze there.
Yeah. You need someone to man that. And every 3 seconds when they break down.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Human person. So it's not going to be as simple as they think.
No, that's it. And as I said before, all it does is create different jobs anyway, doesn't it? For the human being,
exactly.
Be more fitters and more tech-based people.
100%.
Kiely Group then. Well, so it is Kiely, it's not Kiely.
Kiely, yeah, that's official. He doesn't care though.
Is it? Yeah.
No, it's simple. It's one of those where it is Kiely, but he says even Kiely runs off the tongue quite nicely, doesn't it? So it's not too fussed. The
background of it was all highways.
Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, it's an Irish family.
Yep.
Started just doing private driveways, and then the first generation started building that. That got passed on to the second generation, Mike Kiely. He sort of built it into that, doing that, the dressing, the surface treatments, and working for government contracts and stuff like that, government local councils.
The pretty part of highways.
Yeah, but I think he did like the hard transition into it. And then it's given to the third generation now, where Mike Kiely, sort of the third generation Mike Kiely runs it himself. And then you've got his sister, Lauren, doing all the marketing and stuff like that, doing really, really well. So it's very much a family-based business. They hold that value. And we're doing really like we do across the whole country. Yeah. We do the biggest surface treatment company. So we do anything from surface dressing, surface treatments, micro asphalt, and then we do minor bits of patching for like pre-season stuff. But very relevant in at time of recording. It's very relevant to what's being released on the BBC at the moment with the podcast with the Pothole Pandemic, I think they called it, on the BBC.
It's going off again now.
Yeah,
I suppose
exactly. Everyone's going to talk about it. So basically, the key into what we do is, and we fight for it. We fight for the fact that if you do preventative maintenance, we won't have so much with reactive maintenance. Yeah. If you look after your road network properly, then you ain't gonna you ain't gonna have to jump in.
But at the same time as well, isn't it? It's all good for you getting a contract with going to do 1,000 potholes, but at the same time, there's a pothole in a road that you're repairing. What your name badge is next to then. Yeah. And I suppose so you want the good stuff where you can repair it rather than looking like that Kiely Group smashed a load of holes in the wall floor again.
And that's it. We see pothole and we always get mistaken for we say we do highways maintenance and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then everyone goes, wow, potholes on my road. It's like, and we always stop. And before you do that, if you do our process, you won't get potholes. It's about getting there before, basically putting a protective layer over the current surface is the simplest way to answer it. And we think that like sort of those local governments should be investing in it more, being proactive rather than looking at a road reactive. I used to work in a council, not in highways, but in housing, but straight as someone shouts, the councillors are like, oh yeah, we better do that. Whereas if you looked at it before and got in front of that problem, you wouldn't have got there, and that's what we do. So yeah, we push.
It's a very British way, isn't it? I think the reactive piece.
Yeah,
that's what we see now.
Some councils are really, really good. Yeah, some councils are really good. We work with some, and they're so proactive. Can you do this? Can you do that? Even pushing boundaries of like what we can actually do with it.
Mm-hmm. You got the machines yet? They come out, the JCB sort of machine or whatever.
Well, the pole, we've got our own. Is it? We've got our own. So but we've got something called a multi-patcher, which is basically jet spray and patching. And there's like a screed bar at the end, and it's a Kiely multi-patcher we've got. So
already built yourselves?
So it's the only one in Europe. It's come over from Australia. When it comes over, it technically can be a one-man working, so the whole element of it is it can do everything and remove the person in the road to take out a danger for many reasons, obviously safety and also the road worker abuse thing that we do. So that's very much in sort of progression now. We used it last year, but we're just ironing it out, making sure it's like really, really fit for purpose. Yeah, but so we've got our own, and that's the main thing for us. And
touch there, the road worker abuse thing, and I've been there. I've done a bit on the highways, the A12, M11, A14, A414. I think if you just round here between here and Cold, I was on a patch with Graham's, and it was pretty much from here, this side of the A12, all the way up to where is it? It's past Cambridgeshire. Up to Peterborough, I think, and everything to it's all section 5 and 8 or 6 and 8, I think it's like that. You'll know it's all sections, isn't it? I can never get my head around it.
It's more the operational side than that for me, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, so we've done a bit on there, and that was the first time I went out actually was a company called Osborne's, who have gone now. I think they went under, or they've just gone back just a railway. And I remember I got a phone call, Steve, can you help us out? And I was just finishing a contract. With Buckingham's of all people, another one was gone. There's a running theme here. If I go to
note to self.
And I was just finishing up. I had a week to go, and then this company ran like, "Look, we've got a job down Colchester way. Can you go down there? They need someone tonight." And I was like, "Fuck, that's a bit much, isn't it?" So I'm on site. It's 11 o'clock in the morning today, and I went and spoke to my boss there, and I said, "Ben," I said, I'm finishing next week. I said, but can I pull it sooner? When I was like, now. And he was like, cool, let's get through it. And we worked it in the end. And I've done a couple of hours each morning, I think, to help out to hand over for next week. And then I went out, and then I'd never done a highways project in my life. And I pulled up on this compound, and the subbies turn up. I'll pay. He said, do you work for us? I said, yeah, apparently so. So cool, yeah, you ready to take us out then? And I was like, what? Well, there was no representative from the company anywhere.
Scary.
And we was going out into a block. Call it a blockade, didn't you, on the road? So I'm saying possession then. The railway's the possession. And so a blockade, yeah. And I was just like, no, I'm not too sure about this. So I've rung up straight away. I said, this is ridiculous. And then I'd done a week of work with them, and then the lorries that were booked in to come and take a load of stuff away turned up 3 or 4 nights later. So we had 3 or 4 nights called off, and it was a complete shit show. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then I was like, this road, and I was just thinking, this is so dangerous as well. We've been told, asked to be going the road, and no one knows what's going on. But then it showed it's a different world to just construction anyway, isn't it? But
it's scary. So when you're looking at the dark side of it is the very fact, and I always say this, I said it on when you came on with us and everything, it's scary how we've got this pothole pandemic, and the roads are such a poor state in England. But yeah, every time someone tries to fix a road for the road user, it's the very road user that abuses them. And it's like, well, what do you want to do? And it's scary, and it makes us. We shouldn't have to be in a position where we're thinking about, right, we've got to take our guys out of danger and make a machine that keeps guys off the road. Or we should, although yes, for safety, but we shouldn't have to think, it's because they're going to get abused by the roads. And it's scary. We've been in a position with our company a couple of years ago where our crews were attacked with an axe because the road was closed, and it is scary what you're thinking, because you're not only there. It's a dangerous industry as it is. Okay, so we rely so much on traffic management. We rely so much on those laws, those boundaries, those blockades that put in, and those taper measures to make sure that cars don't encroach. But we talk about like mental health on our pad and stuff like that, and we don't know where anyone's mindset is, right? That person could be late, could be on their last chance, could be getting sacked if he's late again, and all that sort of stuff. And all that's going through their mind, I need to get through that road to go, right? But our guys are looking out for the dangers. There's 32-ton trucks. There's big machinery that's walking around them.
Just in their work site.
It's just on their work site, and someone's driving through a closed road and taking those. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's good, and that's why we have to do so much around it.
And I think a lot of people relate to it as well, just in terms of how much road rage people can have. Like you say, just in general, isn't it really? And I've never really had it. I can't be asked to get angry about anything really anymore. It takes quite a lot to go. You know? But in the morning, I'm one of those people, I'm more than happy to laugh at people when they scream their head off at the window. I'm just like, are we really getting that angry? So if someone just wants to pull it in front of you because they might be taking the piss, but they might be genuinely missed the turning, can they come in? And people try to ram them and keep them out.
It's going to cost you 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly that.
and the scary thing is when you've got road workers doing like their job. What would you prefer? Would you prefer thousands of pounds of damage to your car, or would you prefer to wait in a queue for a minute longer? And it when you put into perspective, and there's this whole adage, right? I'm South African, so there's just I love this adage. It's this adage about British people just loving to queue and moan about it, and there's
an opportunity to queue and moan.
It sort of reminisces to that, and I think people just need to relax and go, well, actually, everyone's just doing a job. And there's so many people out there that are doing some work to reduce the road worker abuse. It's going into court at the moment. Balfour Beatty are trying to raise up their profile.
So look at certain laws that protect
the road worker. So it's just generalised law at the moment. So, if someone attacks you, it's just antisocial behaviour or whatever. But it's more specific to road workers. And it should be. It should be. These guys shouldn't feel like they're threatened. And then, so I work in HR with people. So I look at like incidences where a member of the public and maybe like a subcontractor or something like that, I've had an altercation. But then you've got the camera footage and it was the member of the public being more aggressive.
100%.
And we automatically think that our guy's wrong. But he's just there protecting himself, and it's really scary.
It's like the police at the moment as well, isn't it? Everyone filming the police. They're trying to do a job.
Everyone's trying to do a job. Like just relax, man. If you've got nothing, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
There was one. I think it was a HS2 worker. In London, a while back, a clip come up, and the guy was going right at him, and he was really professional. And then the guy put his hand on it, so the workers end up hitting the guy 2 or 3 times and put him to the floor. And he did. He rightly said, "Don't touch me, don't touch me," and he did. And then. Yeah.
What do you expect to do? Just let him hit you? Yeah, exactly. You mentioned let him hit you.
But why? Yeah, they're in the wrong because and I think there's so much of that. As I say, the one arm kind of media was go out this workers done. You think how many people are pushing these people? The fact that
you don't know where they are as well. Like I done when I was in retail before. I done a conflict resolution course, right? And it was a guy who was actually really good at his job. He was doing the training. And he said something that was outside of the course, but he goes, you don't know what that person's stage of mentality is at that moment of the day.
Yeah.
And it resonates. So a little bit of background around me. I went from working at a major supermarket in a managerial position doing that. That resonated with me. And then I went across. I wanted to learn a trade in construction. So I went out on the tools, worked for a mate's dad, doing landscaping, everything basically. Groundsworks up, so all the way up until damp course and stuff like that. And then went home to work for the council, Birmingham City Council, where it was like area maintenance manager type thing. And then I moved across down to social behaviour and domestic abuse as an officer. So it was a proper size set. But you're living in court and you're looking at the most vulnerable people and you don't know where they are in life. And just them leaving that they might have had the worst thing happen to them. And when I resonate this to guys who are working on the road, you don't know what's happened in their home life or whatever. They still come to work. They still put a brave hat on. And then someone can shout abuse at them or anything, and it could be the final step before that they do something that they ultimately is going to affect themselves and everyone around them.
Yeah.
So it's about just have a bit of, we need to make sure that we protect these guys and highlight it a little bit more. So I've got the empathy from previous roles that I've done to look at it really. So.
And in the day, and what stupidity does someone go and have around, cause trouble with a group of guys who have tools on them.
Yeah.
They are rightly so tooled up, and people still think it's the right idea to go and cause
and they're not the weakest group of lies either. No. So it's about that. And listen, we face a battle. You know yourself, you work in construction, that these guys, the sense of pride's massive for them, right? So it's about making sure they tailor their expectations. But these guys are expected to deal with abuse every day, man. Like
you said about where they are in their heads as well. And I went into the Mount prison with Saracens Foundation, their kind of charity arm doing the community bit, the rugby team, and they done touch rugby tournament with the actual. They put on a 5 or 6 weeks, a 5-week course for the prisoners to learn to play rugby. So there's a lot of people who'd never played rugby before, and then had a rugby pitch in the prison. They call it. There's a program the other year at Shrewsbury Delalio, I think Johnny Wilkinson and all that. They went into. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it's the Mount. It's around St Albans way, and we went in there. And I got invited along because a couple of lads wanted to get into the railway world. And then one of the guys at the foundation said, Steve, you know the railway world, can we take you in to have a chat with this guy? And when he comes out, he's due to be released next year. If we can kind of help him get in there, because there's a matter of 48 hours when they get released to get them moving quick. Otherwise, the system sucks them back up into that world. But I got talking to a few in there, and I only watched the movies before. You think, don't ask what someone's got in for. And all this. I'm going in there thinking I'm a prisoner myself, sort of thing. And I didn't know what to say, so I was always a bit, I'd let them talk to me rather than I go and talk to them. And a couple of them come forward. And then within no time, a couple of them just said, he said, I'm due to be out in a few months. He said, it's not happening again. I was like, I had a punch up and this has happened and that's happened. And then, and that's when I started thinking, this guy, he got put in there for hitting someone. I think the guy's ended up with brain damage or something like that. Obviously horrific. But it was just the odd punch as well. But he was just like, I just had my last week. He'd had his whole life was trouble. And he's got out the wrong person's caused trouble with him. And he swung a punch and ended up in there. And then I was like, Christ. And I messaged one of my mates after that. I was like, lads, I went, we have got a lot to worry about. I said, I've just been in a prison with guys who've done a lot less than what we're...
So we work in prisons as Kiely Group. We work in prisons. Every company's got to do a social value piece, but we hold our pride. The beauty of being a nice little family company where we don't want to do stuff that doesn't make a difference. And we go in, so we've worked in, from more local to here, we've worked in Feltham, and we did it with a rugby team and stuff like that.
It was Feltham, was that round St Albans way? And the Mount is...
Yeah, it's not far from Heathrow Airport, Feltham.
Oh yeah, Feltham, that one, yes.
Feltham.
Yeah,
and we did some work in there and done some training courses, met some guys and stuff. But the main one, at the moment, we're branching out, so we're looking at Exeter Prison, and then we do a lot of work in Leicester Prison at the moment.
Yeah.
Where we do training, but we don't claim off the government to do it. We provide that training. We do first aid and level 1 health and safety. We do drop-in sessions where we talk to the guys, just genuinely talk to the guys, because And it's funny you say, like, you don't ask what they do. Usually they'll open up to you anyway, because we just ask for honesty. Because we don't wear a prison guard's outfit, like, uniform. They know that we're there to, like, actually, like, we're quite straight with them. Because when they start, like, messing around, you're like, well, guys, I'm not getting paid to be here. Like, if you don't want it, it's more of, like, an opportunity for you guys. Yeah, exactly. And we utilise that as, like, a bit of an interview process. And we've met some amazing guys. We hire a lot of ex-offenders anyway and try and think. Because, yes, you're right, that between that 48 hours, if they do not have a home or a job within that 48 hours, they're 50% more likely to reoffend. So we went into...
And they go out with like 60 quid or something, don't they?
Yeah, 48 quid to try and get them. And sometimes they might be across the country of where they've been taken. And we come out of Leicester Prison when we first went in there. 3 years, we've been doing it now. And it was by chance, really, but we went and done our first session. The PowerPoint didn't work. We didn't have loads to do on there anyway. It's just more videos. The PowerPoint didn't work. And it was the best thing that ever happened to us, because we stood there and we talked to the guys, and they and apparently they get a lot of other companies that come and give them this big PowerPoint, and it's death by PowerPoint that switches them off. But we talked to a load of guys really interested, and that was our way in then, basically. We sort of done it, but we walked out of that prison. It was around this time, December in 2023, 2022. We wanted to walk back in, it was that cold.
Was it?
Yeah, and you're thinking these guys are homeless most likely. So they're coming out, and we just asked the question, so what do people do when they come out and it's this cold? And like, they got some amazing people. We work with Helen Cox in Leicester Prison mainly. And she was honest. She was like, sometimes they'll just go into the staff car park, whack a mirror off just to go back in for Christmas, because they get a meal, they get everything like that. So it's about this support, and it's such a recruitment asset that we don't delve into. The amount of foremans and the amount of like supervisors or like really skilled lads that I talk to that are exactly what you've just said. Went out to the pub. I don't know, girlfriend's cheated on him, or something's happened at the pub. They've got into an altercation, and it's the one thing that they've done. And you do see a lot of it, because people think that, everyone who goes to prison just reoffends. But in actual fact, you can have those honest conversations, and you can check, and you work with prison employment leads and say, no, his first offence.
You're nothing to hide.
Exactly. So we have that, and we're very honest, right? We say to the guys, like, unless you have that real honest conversation with us, we're not going to hire you. And it's simple as, and it brings it out, and they talk to us. So we do a lot of work in prisons, and it's such an employment asset for us. Like, it's mad. But then there is the flip side. We've got to make sure that their healthcare, that their sort of their mental state's right to come in. The support network's there for them to come out, so that they thrive on it. But and it can, and it works the mental side of things. And I go back to the point where I say you don't know where anyone's head's at, right?
No.
And you've got to be careful. It's like, no, I would never ever, as in the job I'm in, I'd never ever diagnose anyone or anything like that. My job's there to be a sat nav and signpost. But I do believe that you can be suffered from like delayed trauma. So I get it myself. The reason why I do I like doing what I do is I suffered like so my mum moved me a country away from my dad because I suffered abuse from my dad. So the reason why we moved from South Africa to here was because of that abuse. And I only didn't really factor that in when I was younger, but it's only when I'm older that I'm starting to remember what actually happened. Not in a bad way. Like, I'm not like sort of unstable or anything, but I realised what's happened. And there's people who've gone through far worse than what I've gone through, and that must hit them as well. So we've got to just be careful that someone can be okay one day and then not the next. And that can come from anyone who, even if they've been released from prison, or just our guys on the road and that sort of stuff. So it all links in when you're talking about road worker abuse, that mental state of people and all that sort of stuff. But that's why we do what we do, and that's why we do our podcast on there to try and raise that awareness. I mean, we spoke a lot about sort of suicide in highways and construction. And then we talked a lot about actual people, where some people think they're more than what they are. We talked about mental health first aiders, and yes, it's a good tool, but they get the misconception that they're now a therapist, and it's about rather than it being about signposting to people, and they just need to utilise that tool in the right way. So yeah, it's why I've got such a passion and do what I do. Like I said, I'm not there to be
easy to talk about when you're passionate about it.
Exactly. I'm not there to be a well-beater, not there to change the world, but if someone like hears my story and the people's story that like we're talking to, that's
so from the Kiely Group, is it kind of, they say the sisters in the marketing world as well, and she's kind of brought it together. Was it a good, interesting conversation at the start when they said, right, should we start bringing this digital media stuff to the servicing company?
It's to be honest with you,
because there's so much we learned from other companies of what work, isn't there?
And like
leading the way with it.
I mean, we never did it before. All our work was on word of mouth, which is brilliant, right? We became a relatively big company within the sector by word of mouth and the standard that we did. Lauren came on. we had to learn it through Neil Levitt. Neil Levitt come and help Lauren with it at the start, but she's absolutely smashed it out of the park now.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, we do all of the events. We do everything. Like all this sort of drone footage that you see now, that's Lauren. Like she's doing an amazing job. Like not just an amazing job at showing what we do, but like I go to earlier when I said earlier on in the pod that how important surface like preventative maintenance is and why it does what it does. So she does like tutorial videos on why we do what we do and stuff. So it was a bit of a scary venture to go into, but now we're more confident at doing it. As in, why don't we talk about what we believe in? So Lars does like really good podcasts, some vlogs and stuff like that for you to learn what we actually do. Because we say we're a surface treatment company to everyone, and they go, oh yeah, so like surfacing. I'm like, no,
it's surface treatment.
It's over the top. So it's like that. It's a completely different base, and there is some roads that you can't treat. There's some roads that are gone that need complete surfacing. But then like we're trying to work and getting people actually catch those roads before they go, and it's that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, they're getting into the digital media side of things, and then just talking. We've come from a very like proud company of where we come from to actually being able to. We didn't like talking about the good work that we did before, and we've had to learn to say, well, actually, it's not that bad, is it?
Yeah,
it's not
that bad. Smoke up yourself,
But it's that's pretty much the mindset we've done. We didn't need to. We didn't feel like we needed to.
But there's so many in the construction world in general, as the industry as a whole. Gossip always, don't go out there and say what we're doing and show how good we're going, because people will steal our clients, and then people will see what we're doing, and someone might not be wearing a glove in the background, and it's just like, I think when people can get a few episodes in, I think from our own experience as well. I remember standing on a 5-a-side football pitch trying to talk to a camera, thinking, just like all over the shop. And I put such pressure on myself. But then I think after a week or two, or for 3 or 4 weeks of episodes, different things going out, people were like, oh, that was actually quite funny, Steve. I was like, oh, that was the one I didn't actually rehearse, and I thought I messed that up. And they're like, well, no, that was just you. Yeah. So that was, this is amazing. So we always have it now, like people come on the podcast. I'm like, no, don't worry. What we can talk about, I don't know. We'll get going and see what happens. Because you can see it clearly when you try and do it a way that's not natural to you. Then it's just like, it just sounds uncomfortable.
Honestly, like I come from a background of just like training, so I'm used to being in front of groups of people. Yeah. And I mean, it went from nothing to a lot. So we've got our own, like, we do the LinkedIn stuff. We do all that sort of stuff, and if you haven't watched them already, I'd say just go watch Laz's videos on the Kiely Group like homepage.
I'm gonna do that
because you learn, and it's such a unique process.
Yeah,
and we can do it at such a vast speed as well. Yeah, that do be it's like one of those. So we have to work with the thing, because we speak about like our training and all that, nothing specific to what we do. So we have to very much utilise those courses and adapt them with the training companies to make sure that they're like the guys do it. Because you'll walk onto a surface dressing site and go, what the fuck? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
But it's actually bang on. Like it's like it's almost organised chaos. Everyone knows where they need to be. Everyone's got a role that's in that safety zone and all that sort of stuff, and you know it. But it's
days and nights. I take it you guys are out, yeah, 24/7.
We do odd jobs. So, if you do like a main A road, so like we do like work in Lincolnshire and stuff like that. If we do a main A road, we'll do nights. And I'm always like, where when I say nights in supermarkets, for us, it was like all the way through the night.
Yeah.
We mean evenings. So like when it's quieting down, that sort of 8 o'clock period and go through. So we'll do those main roads to try and cause less sort of hassle to the road user. Yeah. We can do our process in one or two ways. We prefer to do it full road closure, but we do it mainly. We do it mainly under road closure, but then also stop and go, so actually the traffic can still flow.
You're able to get out, so you're out with the cameras as well on your jobs.
Lauren,
you're doing,
Lars does that. Yeah.
How do you guys find that then? Because I know there's a lot of people are nervous. So I think that what we're trying to set more, and because you're in control of the jobs, you can control it. And we don't get much kickback now if we say to someone, can we come and film on your site? Yeah. But there's so many people, we can't film on our site because this ain't right, that ain't site. But as soon as you do it, and you put it out, go, this isn't actually that bad, is it?
We've used it as a learning as well, because we were like that,
You can't be in a camera on site. You trip up. And come on, leave us alone.
When Lars first started doing it, she was like, we were having to tell people to do the basics, like if someone's not had their hat on or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually helped us change the culture. It's like, you should always have your hard hat on.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's those basics. So now Lars can turn up on site and everyone's got their PP on, because that's almost helped our culture and that sort of.
We got that on the site actually quite a bit. The couple of lads just kept taking their hard hats off. Every time they got in a trench, they took their hard hat off. And we was like, lads, keep your fucking hard hats on. and in the railway world, you would never see that happen.
No.
And then you went on to another civil suit, and I'd always sent out a form saying to everyone, as of Monday, first Monday next month, chin straps are mandatory to ensure that these hard hats that keep them falling off don't fall off. Next thing you know, everyone's going to wait fucking having chin straps. Well, keep them on then. They stayed on then. You know, it's like, the idea of having this chin strap, everyone's like, just keep you out and we don't want a chin strap. It's like, can I keep saying, just jump in a trench and it falls off? Don't worry, we'll tie it to you.
Yeah. You got no excuse. It's one of those, because I get
culture,
it.
Again, they say,
exactly. I get it though, because I've like yourself, I've worked it. I've done the landscaping stuff. I've done the groundwork stuff, and I've dug footings and stuff. And you go in there and you go, it is fucking annoying, but at the end of the day, like, stats don't lie. All these health and safety legislations, this PPE and that's come in, has reduced workplace injuries, right? So regardless if you think it's annoying, anything like that, it's factually worked, right? And at the end of the day, without sounding like I'm beating the health and safety drum too much, it works. So
I don't think that now. Even for me, it wouldn't feel right to have a pair of trainers on. Even if I go in the garden to dig to put some flowers on, I'll put my foot on the shovel and I know straight away, I can't wear these trainers. Because you haven't got the plate in the bottom.
Exactly,
it just doesn't feel right. I'm not going to dig to my best ability. I'm only putting a couple of bulbs
School
in.
report, could do better.
Got a couple of bulbs to put in. Need a digger. I've signed off a permit to dig. We're going for it.
That's it, man. Like, it's about talking to our guys and becoming more confident in their ability. Some of these guys have done their work for 30 plus years and know more than anyone can ever tell them.
Yeah.
Anyone can ever tell them. It's just, keep being yourself. Just
own it.
Put a hard hat on when you do it.
Yeah. we have to get out with you. Come and see us on the job eventually.
You're more than welcome to. There's more than welcome to. Our main season starts in that April time, so come along, man. Yeah, we'll be all over.
So that is your so you got pre-season and your season.
Yeah, exactly. So we try and keep as many lads on as we can. We do have a lot of seasonal grafters, but it works for them, right? That some of them go out to like Spain for the winter.
It's another string in the career bow of a construction worker, isn't it? You can do this. You can pop in and pop out.
So we start in April, and the guys, and this is where we're very wary, right? We're very wary of making sure that the guys are in the right space. They'll work like 2 weeks, like I said, 12 days away from home, and then come back, and then it's like, okay, we get by the end of the season that these guys have worked a lot, and they deserve a bit of slack. So when you start seeing little bits, I've got my hard at, it's like, okay, mate, you're not getting sacked, but here's another one. Make sure you keep it on, that type of stuff. But come out and look, man. You'll be pleasantly amazed. When I first started in this sector sort of 5 years ago. Like I said, come from construction, knew what surfacing was, came out to surface treatments, and it was and we're lucky enough to have some of the guys who've been doing it for so long and have got the most experience in the country.
Are you all over the UK now as well? Doing it all over the place?
So we cover anything, all the way from all down south, all the way up to all the Scottish and Scottish Isles.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We do the Isle of Man, and we do sort of Lincolnshire all the way through to Kent.
Amazing scenery. It's just the drone. Get the drone from them around.
Honestly, you need to see some of that footage. Some of that footage that Laz has done is amazing, but it's really good. It's nice. Like I said, I can't. I'm not one of these guys who can come on and say, "Oh, this is it's hard work and all that sort of stuff," because it's actually nice working for a company who are passionate about what they do. Yeah, which makes everyone else passionate, right? If you sat down with the boss and he genuinely just talked to you about surface dressing for 2 hours and is like that, like with it, so it's brilliant because it makes everyone else like that. And we have got when I first come here, it's always I'm in training, right? It's always a pain in the arse to go and look at someone and go, I've got to show you this and all that sort of stuff. But when I first come here, people actually want to speak about what they do. Yeah. Because they're proud of that. They're the best at what they do. Right? Yeah. So it's really good. And we've tried to keep that culture with them, but also every single company's got to go more professional and all that sort of stuff. So it's about making sure they keep down those lines and working with, we've got this whole thing. I'm going to be careful what I say too much, but when we're working with like tier ones and stuff like that, there's a branch between the tier one and then the guys on the ground. Yeah. Like no one wants talk.
Multiple layers of chain.
Because they feel like the guys are scared to talk to them because they feel like they're going to be tripped up. There's no reason to be scared. And then vice versa, that you don't see it, then go over to them unless they've got something bad to say. It's like you need to speak to these guys and actually show a bit of praise, because if you're just beating them up all the time, they are going to shy away from you. And that's the work that I've been doing with like clients and sort of tier ones and stuff that promote that, because in actual fact, the work don't get done with those guys on the ground, right? And that, it's just one of those about talking, man. Like,
massive. And we've seen it across events. We got a walk we're doing next week actually, but I first found it And this was literally, I've got the picture somewhere, I'll dig it up. Phil Hobson, who was a project director of Kia's on a big Thames Water project we were on, massive job. It was Kia, Murphy's and ACOM. And we'd done a walk over 2 days. I'd managed to put it together, convinced them it was a good idea. I said 2 days out there, and this was before mental health was even spoken about. So that there's something in this. And yeah, this Phil was into his Ironman competition, so I knew he had the connection between his exercise and being a better person, keep yourself healthy. But I've got a picture of him as the project director alongside one of the, I don't think the lad even had part 1 or part 2 or part 3 scaffolding, whatever is the first one you do. But he was literally a labourer for the scaffold company. And I've got a picture of them 2 guys on this walk next to a road that was called like Cock Close or Dick Close. And they found it hilarious. And you got a picture of these very senior person, a very non-senior person, having a laugh as 2 blokes over the name of an unfortunate road.
Yeah. And it's mad because I bet
titles are gone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it needs to be like that. Like we don't work with titles in our company.
Do you not? Yeah.
No. Brilliant. So we've got, there's obviously a tiered structure.
Yeah.
But a title means nothing to our boss, really.
Yeah.
As long as he's got people in place to put systems in place. Obviously, I look at all the HR and training systems. We've got technical teams, we've got health and safety teams and all that sort of stuff. But titles are relevant because everyone, quite frankly, as in life, everyone should be treated with respect. Just like that moment there with someone who could be so many pay grades above your man.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, you're still human, still going home to a family at the end of the day. And why would you treat them any different? So when you're out on site doing your job, why would you treat them different? Yes, there's boundaries that you got to implement, but you've got to speak to these people. Yeah. And you're more than likely to get a positive outcome from it. Mm-hmm. So we do drug testing, right, at the moment, which is a massive problem in any construction and highway sector, right?
It's society.
Society's become so much more accepted. But it's about like educating the guys on why we look at it and stuff like that. Don't just come down and nail on the guys. They're like, we had a situation and previously where don't demoralise the guys. They do mobile testing, but don't do it in front of everyone. Like all of our guys pass, but it's like you're still embarrassing them. Just make sure you do it properly. Talk to them why we're doing it, why we do that, and then can you just, you know what I mean? And it's about, because all they see then is you're doing that. They feel like they're just trying to be caught out all the time. Right. Yeah. And our job is to bridge that gap between those guys, and we're doing it. Listen, we do some great work with people like in Lincolnshire, Balfour Beatties. With that, they've got a guy there called Dave Borrow who's looking after all the health and safety side of stuff. And the amount of times we just pick up the phone now and say, listen, could do this better and all that sort of stuff. I've spoken to the guys. Can you just make sure it's double implemented? It's like, that's what you need. Like that is what you need.
Not dictatorship.
Yeah, exactly. And so we are building those relationships, and we've got that a lot with a lot of our clients. But
because having your back up to to some people above you who just want to put pressure on you, it only creates more pressure at the bottom, and then accidents happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So if everyone can be open to it, we've worked across a few. I went back on a site actually with someone else a few years ago, just after COVID. Oh, this was all kind of coming to fruition as well. I was getting to a point of this is going quite well. I can step away a little bit from that. I went on site and some engineer come along screaming and hurtling at the lads that I was a foreman there, and I was overlooking a gang. Started screaming at the gang I was looking after, and I was just like, mate, I've not even met you. And I said, if there's a chain of command here that you want to talk to him, you go through me. And then no one had ever stood up to him before. And I just thought, you silly little prick. If he was outside the workplace, you'd got one. You know?
and that's it.
It's not acceptable.
For me, I wouldn't walk up to anyone on the outside in the street and speak to them like that.
Yeah.
So why would I do it in a workplace? Like I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like when I go on site, I'm quite pally with the guys on the ground because I know that at the end of the day, I'm not going to get anything by going up to them and shouting at them. Like we speak to the guys; they are human beings, and we respect them. So it's listen.
It seems that the industry is going the right way in that as well. I think, doesn't it? You're not seeing
100%.
I'm sure you guys, especially a big Irish firm behind the sun, one of the Irish companies we worked with over the years as well. And they'll say it is changing the way it used to be. Even when I done the walk at Shoot Murphy's, is we're going to pay you 2 days ago for a fucking walk.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. And but I got round them and they loved it.
They need to. You need to. Yeah. And like we get involved in all that sort of stuff. And you need. I think everyone identifies the fact that not only do you need to change because legislation is changing, you need to change for. Like with the times as well, don't you? So, but we've always been quite a proactive company, really positive. And I suppose that's why I haven't run out of the energy to change the culture, right?
Yeah.
Because we are forever changing it, and there's always a positive message around it.
Yeah.
Yes, the sector's completely changed, and I've worked for sort of little private building firms. I've gone to work for a council, and I've come to and the hardest place to change the culture has been at a local government, not a thing. So, and that's within the housing sector, so I can't talk about the construction sector. But when I've come here, you're always going to face your challenges, and people will lie if you don't. But
Yeah.
It's been a really positive experience at the end of the day because
so how long have you been in this world? A couple of years, say 2.5 years.
5 years. 5 years in for highways maintenance. Like I said, I've always done it. So I work for the Tesco, and as much as I'm glad I'm out of Tesco.
Every little doesn't help.
Like their leadership program's probably second to none in my eyes. Yeah, they do an awesome job, and that's where I got all my sort of my leadership, all my HR experience, my training experience and stuff like that. But then I just had enough. I'd bought my house, bought my car, I wanted to get set, and I wanted to get a trade. So I went out and worked for my mate's dad. That's when I learnt my trade, and then gone over to there, and I learnt so many skills from the council, as a more empathy. There's a lot, because there's what it does remind you of. I always have a moment to myself where I think, oh, my childhood was tough, but then I see someone else and go, it's not as tough as some, so I'm lucky. But then I've always got the people around me. I've got my mum, my brother I can talk to and all that sort of stuff. Some people don't have that. Some people don't have that. And then it's about, so I sort of came out to this highway sector, and I'm about people's me, right? I prefer just talking to someone, right? Because I actually enjoy someone coming to me. If someone comes up to me with their problems, it's good because you feel comfortable enough around me to come to me with your problems. I'm not going to be there and say I can fix them, but if I need to signpost it. Yeah, exactly. Share. I think sharing's like a major part, but I'm also because I used to be an operational side of things when I was in construction, I've got an interest in the operational side. So the first thing I did when I joined the company, I went to every single process that we do and asked our foreman, our supervisors, why do we do what we do? What is that? What is this? Because I don't think it's fair to be able to talk to someone, train someone when you don't understand it yourself. It's really good. So I've been in the game for 5 years, met some amazing people. There's
definitely something in it, because I spoke to a few people like that. We talked with Liz Ardmore. She come into the industry a few years back, and her background school teaching. And she says, I do the same now, just for bigger people.
100%.
But the way that she controls that site, you can see it's almost a skill she's learnt away from construction. But there's a few people, even Katie works with us, has got a background. She was in scaffold back office before, but before that she's in the city. But she brings a whole host of skills. So when you get those people from outside the industry who have learned in a very professional place to come into the construction world, and they go, what's going on here? And they kind of whip it up into shape. And I think there's so much to be learned and from those people.
Vice versa, though. It's vice versa as well, because you can't always just be by the book all the time. As in, when I say by the book, I mean
through the ranks sort of thing.
Let's not. I'm not trying to piss off a group of people here when I say this. It's like when I look at HR, right? I work in HR, which is a minefield on its own. But we've lost the art of a conversation. If there's an issue between someone, well, and I get that there's sometimes that you can't, but why not just talk? Sit them down together, bang those together, and talk. You're adults, right? So we've lost the art of the conversation. So I'm very much operational and I know how to do my legislation, that side of things, but I've also got the people side around me where I go, really? You know what I mean? Have that conversation, and then we've dealt with an issue like that. So I've learned that from people within construction, people within highways, people in there, and I've learned that because at the end of the day, we go back to the point we made earlier about these people who've been away for 2 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 days or whatever. They're at the end of the tether. They want to go see their family. It could have been something absolutely pointless, and they've just snapped and they go, sorry, actually. Let's water under the bridge.
They decompress for a couple of days.
We don't need to go for free disciplinary meetings and stuff.
So we go with emails. The email thing I really struggle with. I get on it once every few weeks. I might get on my emails. Katie works with us, manages my emails basically. But I'm like, if I want something, and being lazy, I want to go through 2 or 3 clicks or something online. It's like, I want something, I'm just going to ring you and get an answer then. And then why would I have to go to a form of writing something to send it to you, for you to hope that you then pick up your laptop to open it just to ask a question?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think, and I'm like, nothing's getting done anytime soon. We're booking a venue for a big schools event next year actually, and I just sent an email out to someone. They said, yes, Steve, we can do this for the clubhouse hire. We've got a rugby pitch coming. We're hiring a few rugby areas next year for boys and girls teams in different schools to all come for a big rugby day, but filled with a careers fair around it as well.
Okay, so, that's cool.
Yeah, so the idea is they're not coming to a careers fair where it's just careers fair. These are going to be year 7s, year 8s, year 9s. So even the ones who aren't even there yet, we're planting the seed to show them that when you come out.
Wicked idea.
Yeah, so that's the kind of idea. So I've emailed a few people, and the clubhouse is set up. For the first one's going to be, we've got 3 dates in March now, but now I've got the clubhouse is booked. for penciled in for one of those 3 days, but we only did it for one. And now I've got to email the council who managed that picture of that clubhouse. And now those emails have come back, instant reply, 5 to 7 days. Please be patient. Within 5 to 7 working days, we can get back to you. I'm like, I just need someone on your system or an online system that just says book slot. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's what kills me. And it's probably the right thing for these boys. I run with every idea I can, but I'm just like, just fucking tell me. Can I have it? Can I have it or can I not? Because I might wait a week for you to tell me no, it's not available.
Exactly.
And then I'm still where I am.
Wasted a week.
Yeah.
We do it, and
impatient.
I can only talk about my experience when I've worked in like the council. It's very much like that, right? It's very much like that.
Yeah, that's Colchester kettles as well.
Yeah,
no disrespect, culture. Please let us book in.
But no, I used to work in housing, and it's done that because there's a different mentality around it, right? They need evidence for everything, right? So that's why they do it, right? I understand it.
Paper chains,
but like we do it within our business, right? And like we do it with our clients as well, right? There's some stuff that we need to put in an email, but talk to her. Right? I think the art of conversation is like, it's gone, and it could solve so much more, right? We're so scared of saying something wrong. But if you look at, if you spent a day in the life of Kiely Group, right? The amount of phone calls, not because people are like inadequate, not because of that, because people are just ringing saying those 20,000 questions that you'll put on an email a year, I just go, no, we're doing it, and we're dealing with it like that. So it stops those emails going back and forth. It comes across
in the more accurate context as well.
100%, because you don't misconcept anything. So we have our guys, man. Like if I had a problem now, I'd call someone and then just say like, right, what do you think? Or because we have like cross-sector guys, so we deal with surface dressing, we do micro asphalt. If we'll have a client out with our surface dressing manager or whatnot, and he's talking about that, but then there's a road that might need micro asphalt in, he'll just call Dave and go, Dave, what do you think about this, this, and this? And he'll give him the information there and there. Yeah. Not, I'll find out and get back to you in 2 weeks. So it's brilliant. So we've got that really sort of personal touch when the way that we work. Yeah. It works for us. I get it doesn't work for everyone, right? I get it just works for Kiely Group. So it's but
it helps that relationship between you and whoever's on the other end as well, doesn't it? 100%. When you know you've got each other's back if you need it, feel comfortable to call me.
And the beauty of us as well, we've got like I said, I work directly for Mike. So when we do a lot of like work within the prisons and stuff like that. And the prison sector hasn't got much money to spend within the prison sector. Just budgets has just been like rinsed out, and they do reach out to like people who help out within the prisons quite a lot. Yeah. And then like we give them an answer. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no, but they'll get an answer straight away because we don't have to jump through hoops to do it. Yeah. So yeah, no, I just think for me, and it goes back to everything that like we're doing is with the podcast and all that. I think conversation will go a long way to solving a lot of our issues. Yeah, definitely. Just like even someone who's on the final, on their final straw, just going up. We briefly touched on it and you'll see it on our podcast. Is there's about like, if you go up and talk to someone on site, and they're struggling, that could going to talk to them about sport or whatever, saying hello, my name's Steve, I'm doing this or whatever. Yeah, that could just like rejuvenate someone. Yeah,
like find a tiny bit of common ground.
Yeah, exactly. Because for me, like, I'm South African, right? I don't live in South Africa anymore, but watching South Africa rugby for 80 minutes takes me out of everything. I'm South African for 80 minutes.
Who's your team?
My only international. I follow international. I used to follow the Wasps when they were in Coventry. Yeah. Because it's unfortunate we don't have like a personal team. Like very much close. We lost.
Wasps for everyone. Like London.
Because we went to Coventry and
I've South African teams though.
Natal Sharks.
Oh yeah.
Natal Sharks. So I was lucky that we. Yeah, exactly. So I'm from Durban, from Pietermaritzburg and Durban, and then this April we just went out actually to they went and played Ulster in Northern Ireland in Belfast. Yeah. And me and my brother flew out. And,
Did you?
Yeah, so because we don't get the bless of watching them too much.
Is there? He's on hold at the moment for 12 weeks.
And then we got Khaleesi and everything. So we've got the Beast and stuff like that. So we've got a wicked little squad. But it's
man. Yeah.
And then when I was a kid, I reminisce because when I was a kid, I watched them on TV and stuff. That is my team, but unfortunately no English teams because there's nothing really central in the Premiership or anything like that.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because I'm played rugby since 12, 13 years age. Love the game, but I've never been one to watch club rugby. I like it on I did just not so much now because I just get caught up with family and life, I suppose. But on a Friday night game, no matter who played, and it was kind of our idea, a bit of inspiration behind construction sport again. But we played when we were under 16s, we got to a national plate final, and we played at Worcester's six ways. And I remember, I think just where life was just what it is, and have a bit of downtime, tough. And then you click Friday night rugby on and Worcester on. And I'd be like, it's been a shit week. I'm like, I played there.
Yeah,
and it
nice.
perked you up a bit. You know, I thought, that's cool. So I use that ethos to literally then we've played 3 or 4 times now at Saracens Rugby Stadium. And then we played at Leicester a few years ago. Cool. We hired that. And I said to the boys who got involved, I went, lads, I want you to realise that when times are shit and you click the rugby on the weekend, you see Saracens play, you go, I've played there. Yeah, and remember today. And that was kind of the ethos behind it.
I get it because I'm weird. I fell out of love with cricket. Cricket was my main actual playing sport. So I played cricket all the way through like Warwickshire youth systems and stuff like that. Oh, and then I played 7 days a week.
We'll do this for the roundup next year for the cricket recruitment.
But I played up until I was 19, right? And then I fell out of love with it. I just stopped. Watching it, everything. The main sport I enjoy watching, rugby. And then I'm all into my American sports. So like basketball and NFL, I'm massive into.
Have you got teams in each one?
Yeah, I would do. Yeah. But it's like weird because you don't have like a Los Angeles. Or like I'm not based to a country. Or
my brother was telling me my brother's big into. He's an Eagles fan.
I'm an Eagles fan. NFL, I'm an Eagles fan, and then in NBA, I'm a Lakers fan. Only because I resonate. The first ever game I watched in England, Eagles were playing Jaguars in the London Stadium.
Oh, wicked! Yeah.
And then I'm a Lakers fan because
LeBron was
Lakers. He still is. But he's not the one who got me into watching it. Kobe Bryant was my one.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant got me into watching it, so he was a Lakers boy, and then I watched the Lakers ever since, and then that was it. So
the brother was saying the other day, I said about rivalries. I don't understand it, but I don't know the depth to it. Probably you do, but he said that Eagles they've got. Their rivalry is all built on just a team across the other side of the country. Yeah. Because they've got a big following as well.
Exactly,
so is that just Arsenal, Man U in the 90s?
No, it's not like it's like a weird
West
one.
Ham.
You've got some, like the New York teams have obviously got rivalries and stuff like that. But like with Philadelphia, they don't like playing Dallas or anything like that. So it's one of those. But like I haven't got an allegiance to a place in America. It's just the teams because of a reason. Whereas like
it's growing over here though, isn't it?
It is massively. NFL's coming over here. NFL's had, I think 8 sort of European games over this year.
Yeah. We've got local teams set up as well now.
Have you?
NFL, Colchester have got a team. A mate of mine quit rugby last year to go and play down there. Yeah. And suddenly he's on a picture online. He's got the paint on the helmet. I'm like, what the fuck has happened to him? I'm like, where is he? He's like, he's gone to Colchester. I was like, what? Down the road?
Pretty cool story actually. We went to go watch Germany versus England and that at Coventry Rugby Club. They played it there.
Yeah.
NFL and
England got a team.
Yeah, England got a team. They didn't fare too well against Germany, but they
have they got a name or was it just England?
It's just England, Great Britain, NFL. Yeah. And then, but we figured out, and my teacher from old school's actually her fella's the manager of them. So,
really?
That's quite
cool.
a nice little touch. Yeah. But, I mean, we watched them, and unfortunately, Great Britain didn't do too well. But
there's a few players over there, isn't there? British ones.
Yeah. We definitely used to have a few players. There's a couple of NBA players that have snuck through, and then there's a few British. We've had a British NFL champion, so it's not too bad.
There's a few of the rugby lads trying it, and like Christian Wade and
Reece Hammett, he's quit now though, and he's come back. So come back. Had enough.
But as you said, didn't it? I think it's one of those sports, by sounds of it, where people were saying that you have to be doing it as a kid. That knowledge in your head just needs to be.
I just think,
jumping in later on doesn't really work.
100%. Like you hear Harry Kane always say that he wants to go over and be an NFL kicker, and it's like you probably should have started by now. But it's cool because at least it answers a question, doesn't it? Because everyone thinks everything's easy when they watch it from somewhere else. And they go, oh, I can go over and do that. I was like, well, you've trained all your life for one sport. Crossover's not that easy and all that sort of stuff. I trained for cricket all my life. And then I started playing golf now.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, you should be really good at it. I was like, no, because it's because of the crossover.
Slogging it.
Because of the crossover. My body wants to cover drive, and that's bad for golf. So it's one of those. But it's
the rugby league, I think the only bit the rugby league into union have done it right, haven't they? Quite a few of those guys. The other way around hasn't gone as well. Was it the union into the league? I think the Farrells are the clear one of the Farrells. And George Ford, he was rugby league style.
I never used to watch rugby league, It used to be one of those, union rather than league. But then, when COVID happened, rugby league, the Australian rugby league was the only thing that was on. And I grew to love it, man. Like, I watched it, and I watched.
I was out for a couple of seasons, a few stomach operations along the way, and then I got signed off to fit again to play rugby right at the end of union season. I was like, fuck, I'm desperate to play. I want to play. And then someone said, well, I think I saw on Facebook, said Brentwood Eels have started a rugby league team. I was like, I'll have a bit of that. And it kicks off in a few weeks. I was like, quality. So I went and played. First game ever played rugby league, scored 3 tries. I was like the next fucking. I was the big light of fire. And second game, nothing. I'd peaked on my first ever game, and I was useless for 3 or 4 games after that. But I was so desperate to play that first game. I loved it. But the fitness side of it was something else. That getting back 5 yards every time or 5 minutes.
You haven't even got like when you're not like you're in a scrum sitting there for a while.
No, and it is if you're the third man to that tackle and you've got to get back. Even the second man has to get back, doesn't he? So one of them stays at the tackle. But that getting back, the tackle was, that's fine. I can do the tackling, I can do the getting hit. But getting back, it's like little doggies every time. I'm like, and the ref is on it as well. And
you see they're all fit as fuck, aren't they?
Yeah, you can see it. They done that 3-4-7 or whatever it was. What was that game called? The Rugby League Union against a few weeks ago for MND. Was it? It's the numbers of.
I'll have to give it a watch.
Yeah, the Dodie Weir's number. And all the other guys who in the MED community, the boys are suffering. Their numbers is 357. I'm sure it's 357. Fact check me, Will.
745 games.
745 games. Sorry. Dodie Weir's number was 5, and then Burrows is 7, and then what's his name? The Gloucester lad now is also
Ed Slater.
Ed Slater. He's 4. It was, and now Lewis Moody will be a 7. He's obviously a 7 as well in the MND space. But they done rugby league versus union, and they literally said to him, "I said, look at the guys. They said the rugby union guys are just because they're big lumps. They've let themselves go a bit. Some of them, look at Phil Vicker. It's unbelievable. He's 30 years now, but." The league lads are just core fit,
they're just
fit guys for life.
Because they have to run,
for life. And then
I like your little supercomputer in the corner there.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's my, it's the old Joe Rogan-esque side. Fact check.
How did you find it? Because you said you had a couple of operations there. Like, I suffered an injury that probably was the beginning of me disliking cricket, right?
Was it? Yeah.
And how did you find it going back? Because I was so nervous to go back playing. Like, I snapped my kneecap in half.
Yeah.
And had an operation, and I didn't want to go back playing. That was the start of me, like, not even wanting to go.
Well, I was there because mine was I had my stomach operated. I lost my large intestine, ulcerative colitis. So I had a bag attached to me for nearly 2 years. Yeah. So I physically couldn't, because I was crapping into this bag, couldn't play rugby. Yeah. But I went and played touch when I could. The doctor, when I had it signed off, because I had 50 odd staples down my stomach twice. And the second time around, I was like, I need to go back and play rugby. He was like, well, can you give it just 6-7 weeks more? And I was like, okay. 2 weeks later, I went back and went, I need to go play. I need to fucking go and do something. And he was like, okay, you can do it, but just go training. I was like, cool, training's full contact anyway.
Yeah, it's enough.
And that I wasn't worried about. I was so desperate to it. My age was on my side, I suppose. And I knew my limbs were all okay. But one I did have, the only accident I've ever had was I broke my right ankle playing rugby. Fractured the bottom of my tibia, and it wasn't that bad. It was a vertical fracture. It was fucking what a waste of time, a broken leg sort of thing. And I'd done it just before I went away with my missus, but it didn't go down well. And I was planning to propose. We still went, but I just had to do it on crutches.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come back from that, I went and played five-a-side football, a cross-rail charity game, and one guy kicked me in the ankle. And I was like, oh, that hurt. And I got a bit worried then. I was like, mate. And he kicked me again after. And I was like, mate, can you stop kicking us? And I said, if you kick me again, I'm going through you. Yeah. And then he was like red rag to a ball. He the next tackle, I see him coming in strong. And I thought we'd have to as well. So I'm running as hard as I could. He stuck his elbow up and I took it straight to the nose. It split my nose. I spear tackled him onto the floor. We've had a complete tussle on the ground. What I later found out was he was big into his Gaelic football and loves a tear up. And I was like, if someone could have told me that before I gave him the warning. Someone could have saved my nose. But I was, because I just started, I had to keep my leg. And then I was getting worried about it. I thought, well, I'm going to have to defend myself now. And then next thing I've got half a broken nose. And I've had me.
I had a similar one with, not a tear up, but like you mentioned about going on holiday, breaking your leg before you go on holiday. I was playing cricket again. It sounds like a similar theme here, doesn't it? But I was a bowler, but I'm always a big lad, and I landed on a foothold, half and half, and I basically cracked my left foot. But it's like 3 weeks.
A lot of pressure goes through your legs.
Yeah, it does. It's ridiculous. If you want the real aspect of it, listen to some of the pros. Freddie Flintoff does it about how many operations he had to have because of it. It's ridiculous. But and I did mine 3 weeks before my wedding. And we had like the pre-wedding photos, and I'm there, like I said I can't do this. And I was in a boot. Yeah, so I can't do this in a boot. So I took my boot off, squeezed my foot and my shoe for these photos. And I swear that photo's on our house. And
it was very emotional at the wedding.
Yeah, I could still see a grimace on the photo. And then like I'm walking up there and like. I was okay on my wedding, like it healed a bit more, but that photo was tough, man. Yeah. Like that was tough. But yeah.
we played cricket in the summer. We had a first game. Contractors Sport Cricket Club was formed, and we played against Galleywood up the road. So, I took my little boy. It all come out of my missus said to me, "There's a government-backed sport package thing for the cricket called All Stars Cricket," and we paid £60 for 12 sessions of cricket over the summer from May to June or July when it was. And he got a bat, he got a ball, he got a shirt. And the event lad.
The little drawstring bag.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually a proper rucksack as well.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a proper rucksack. Bat, ball, rucksack, and a shirt and a cap, £60, all these lessons as well. He absolutely loved it. And Galleywood Cricket Club, fair play, they were so good. They had they told all the teenagers as well, we need you to come down and help us coach. So they had 50 kids there, no joke, and then they had about 20, 25 coaches as well. So the kids were so supported. It was brilliant. And every Saturday morning I went down there with a little deck chair, sat out and watched them for a bit. Bacon was on point and the coffee was good. Yeah. And we loved it. And I just so happened to bump into one of the lads, Josh Phillips, who works for the tiling company that supports us, WRS Contracts. And he said, Steve, I play down there as well. They're a great club. He said, we should do a game. I'll get an invitation for all the adults because they've got 4 or 5 adults teams as well.
Yeah.
So he said, I can get a team together out of them and we'll get a team. I said, oh, wicked, no worries. So I messaged a good friend of mine who I've worked with over the years, a guy called Chris Swainland. He's got a renovations business, building business in London mainly, high-end stuff. And I worked with him a few years back and then I knew that he went to Oxford Brookes University and he was in their university team. So I thought he's decent at cricket. I always remember that. So I messaged him and was like, Chris, and he lives in Stock now, what's opposite Galleywood. I've just over A12. And I said, there's a cricket game coming up. Can you play? I know you've got a bit of experience. Like, we were all keen for it, but we had played at school. And he said, yeah, so I can bring 2 other lads as well if you want from work, 2 or 3 others. Yeah, cool. No worries. He says, can you send you over their details to me so I can put it down? He said, yeah, no worries. And he sent me 2 links to their ESPN player ratings. I was like, oh, hello. And these 2 lads have just retired from Essex literally last year.
No, we're blessed. Just give us a call if you need some players. We've got Ian Jones who worked for us. He used to be a pro cricketer and stuff like that. Yeah. So.
I'll tell you what we've done with it as well. We had it. They put a barbecue on. It was a Wednesday evening, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday evening. We put a barbecue on for everyone. Well, the club did. A couple of lads who members of Construction Sports 100 Club said, can I come? My boys play at school. Can they come as well? Would you mind if they play? Well, if they play at school level now, they're going to be better than what we are. And they were 14, 15. And these 2 14, 15-year-olds, they literally took a couple of wickets within no time. They were awesome bowlers. Yeah. And the dads were playing with their sons in an adult game they'd done before. Yeah, it
doesn't happen much now. You know, when I first come into cricket, they did loads of like dads v lads stuff. Yeah. And when I was in school, schools were just like football and everything else. You usually have like 1 or 2 good players in the year. Yeah. You then like they play for every single year. Yeah, and then you go for that. And then I was in year 8 and was playing for the year 11 team against the police. Literally like the West Midlands police. And it's those sorts of things that don't happen anymore. But I know about All Stars. I know All Stars do great because they do a big 6-week school holiday program, don't they? Yeah, that's pretty much what I think it was kind of part of. But the way that it was done, because Benji's one, he went from, he was going through the school term as well into the 6 weeks. But it was so good. So I think the club, Galleywood, rightly so, they've got their shit pulled together. They realise, get this government-based program to bring these kids in, and after that 12 weeks, we want to pull them into the club. Yeah. And Ben, he plays for the club now. He's just stepped away now because I think just for the winter, but they are still carrying on. But it's just because I think it clashes with another club he's got at the moment for the winter. Well, they won't play much of the outside stuff.
Yeah, it's just indoor
like practice
bowling.
and stuff like that.
So now he said to me 3 weeks ago, we went up to Suffolk for a weekend away for my father-in-law's birthday. And we needed to find a rugby club. We were looking for a bar to watch England versus Australia. And we couldn't find anywhere. And the lady in the pub said, the only place to have it is a rugby club, what's about a few miles away. So we went, okay. So we took a little mission and went for a walk. And we went to this rugby club, and me, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my boy come along. And it was the lads' little day out. So we went to this rugby club. It was literally a porter cabin in the middle of nowhere. The game had been cancelled because they couldn't get a game out. And they had a few VPs who were about 300 G's old in there. And we went in this club, and literally had a great day in there. All the beers was canned and bottled. There was nothing on sale. And then literally went in there, and they were so welcoming, and we had a great day in there. But I think that day, my boy was, I like this. And he's only 7 years old. And they were so welcomed. And then the week after, he said, Daddy, we're going to watch the rugby today because England were playing Fiji. And I said, yeah, do you want to? I thought, he's never asked me that before. I was like,
it's nice when they get
yeah, and I was like, I'm happy. I said to him, like, he said, can we play? And he said, Daddy, can I start to play? And I was like, do you want to? I said, yeah. And my missus was like, oh, no, it begins.
It's nice when, like, club, like, I can only talk from club cricket, right? When club cricket and all that sort of pushes forward, I remember a time when I was only 14, I think, at the time. I was playing for our local seconds. And it was a decent club. It was a decent club, but it's not far from Edgbaston Cricket Ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, big club down there.
And what's it? I think one of the days, it must have been mostly, it was the Ashes or an England game, and you know the Barmy Army.
Yeah.
They all go down there, and I think the game finished at like, there was like 20 runs to win or something, so they all like knocked off and stuff like that. And then they rocked up at our club. Like a section of the Barmy Army and stuff like that, all obviously like getting tanked up and stuff on this local club rugby team. And by the end of the day, everyone had a wicket team, like, because club rugby, like, some people can watch it, some like families, girlfriends, whatever. But then you haven't got like a massive crowd. And then by the end of the day, there's like, we had the Barmy Army, because everyone heard like the Barmy Army there, like more people came down. Yeah. By the end of the day, the Barmy Army had made songs about all 11 of our players, and it was absolutely buzzing. Like it was just a normal. It wasn't a final, wasn't anything. It was a normal league game, but I remember it to this day. It was fucking hilarious.
It's always when we get the message come across, boys, we've got a match on Friday. We're playing Friday night in a few weeks. Why's that? There's a team touring in the area. And
I love the touring teams. Man. Love the tour. I won't even say it on camera. Some of the stuff that goes on in the touring, so it's brilliant. We used to tour I used to play for a Saturday side, which was like your serious cricket.
Yeah.
Sunday side was very social, Shirley Cricket Club, right? Yeah. And they base themselves. There's guys who have played there since they were like kids, and they're now not playing, but they're just involved, like they might do scoring or something like that. Every Sunday night meet up for a beer, every Wednesday night meet up for a beer, and it's a really good like social thing to keep the guys going. But they tour every single September, and we've done it since we were younger, and we've always been just around the country. We've done Ireland and stuff like that. But and then with the odd time we get some tours coming to us, and we obviously go all out for them. But I love a tour side. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's bang on.
Bring on the tours. Our lads keep saying that. There's 120 of us in the rugby WhatsApp group, and the people jump in and jump out. See when they can and can't. Now I know you've played, but you would be straight in there. But we said that the lads was like, "Can we go on tour?" A few of them mentioned it. I was like, "Well, we're all spaced around the country anyway." But I know we're speaking to a few people mentioned Glasgow Rugby Club up there, or Edinburgh as well. Edinburgh would be a cool one, I think.
Yeah,
quite cool
nice as well.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm trying to. How do I put that across at home? Is we're going away for it's a work trip, and as you're clocking, it's a rugby tour.
Team building.
Absolute carnage. But going back into our podcast then, that I was on with yourself, and interesting. Mr. Anthony Hegarty. Yeah, interesting situation. He's pushing on, isn't he?
He's definitely committed. Like it was really inspiring. Yeah, and for me, it's very different because I'm just trying to raise awareness and get people talking, and he comes from a bit more of a like statistical,
investigative world.
And like a bit more analytic, and then someone who's passionate about the fact that like he's not overly there to catch anyone out, but he's doing it for the right cause. He wants people to actually know, like, get some closure on stuff. Yeah. Some of the stories that he told us about, like people asking him to look into things further on. And like I said, he'd done the crime report. Yep. It's about people looking into it, and actually we're utilising pieces of it in our induction stuff, like actually about raising that awareness. Not all of it would be there for days, but it's really, really good. It's worth like the odd read every now and then to update it. But he's an interesting person, and he's got the experience to come over from like South Korea, Seoul and stuff like that. Look at what they do over there as well as what we do over here.
Outside looking in,
exactly. So it was really interesting. I could have spoke to him for days. It's mad. I'm sure you could have as well.
Yeah, we did a bit. So that's just what he said. While you're here, can you come in? So you come. But that whole thing and what he said about it all, and you just wish this industry as a whole at the top level would take it more serious. Like they should be pulling that to one side and go, right, let's have a look at this. And
it just seems
no
like
one up there. There's no one there doing it.
No. And it's scary because it seems like I don't want to say this now without upsetting everyone, but it just seems like we're only looking to the things that get certain people pay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so like, would the HSE look into suicide if it was?
They're putting fines on that HSC. You watch them on LinkedIn. They put fines up for companies like they've won something. You know what I mean? They're like, it's like a positive thing.
It's not a positive thing.
There was one this morning. Someone's been fine £800,000 because someone fell off a scaffolding.
Yeah.
But it's like they're celebrating these
wins. Saw one yesterday about someone falling through a thin sheet of metal on the wood or something.
Yeah, so that
like
was
that.
for the industrial roof.
And it's like someone suffered there. Someone suffered there. Like that's not a
someone
win.
suffered individually. Now the company's suffering for
do
something.
the learning out of it. If you're going to do anything, don't celebrate the fine. Celebrate the learning out of it. All right, these are what they've learned. This is what they've implemented in place.
Yeah,
that's what needs to be sent out.
Yeah,
so that other companies can send that out. That's what needs to be done.
Yeah, like the past reports and go to a company. Yeah, they did get fined 4 years ago, but now go and look at your lessons learned.
What they do now?
Yeah. And how's it gone about, and how has that day made you realise? I think their way they go about it is savage, and I think that's with the Riddle thing as well. The Riddle is that is funded by government money. What funds them? I was doing a bit of homework in last week. That money that they find what comes in, I suppose, ends up feeding it all. But yeah, in my head, it's just like stop just celebrating these things like wins and look at the
if you simplify it in life. If I walked across the street, didn't look right, and I got hit by a car, I'd come back and I'd look. Well, I needed to corrective action. I needed to look right and then cross the road, right? So everyone else now needs to know they need to look left and right before they cross the road. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a benefit to say, I went over and broke my leg because of that. It's a benefit to say, these are the lessons learned.
Yep.
Look left and right and you'll avoid it.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. Like, just simplify it. Go tell these companies, right, we did have an investigation. These are the lessons learned.
Yep.
And then companies around who are looking at that will go, well, actually, okay, we need to implement that into our method statement, health and safety, like all that legislation and paperwork that they need to do. They can make that change. Because at the moment, like now, you're just looking at it exactly what you said. And I'm going to be very careful what I say, but like you are just looking at a monetary factor there.
Yeah.
All I know is someone's fallen through a roof, and that's how much they get fined. I don't know about the corrective action that you've implemented or put in place or that company's done, which, quite frankly, that company's probably made sure that they're better than they've ever been before at that aspect, right?
Yeah.
And that needs to be that sort of shared rather than, all right, this is what we've done.
Because it doesn't compensate the person that money either, does it? They just fine them. I think
exactly.
That person ends up with probably 5% of that or something as a compensation.
I'm sure, because I'm sure they're because. I'm not going to say too much. I don't know too much about, but I'm sure the HSE like charge you for their time and everything like that. So that's where the fines come through. But I think it's just. I just think it's a big thing about lessons learned. Like we have incidents on site naturally, and the big thing, and this is one of our bigger clients in Lincolnshire and stuff like that with Balfour Beatties. We do a lot about lessons learned. Yeah. And that's more beneficial to us. Right? So we'll do a debrief about lessons learned and what we implemented. And that's more of a positive impact because we can actually then relay that to our guys and go, just have a think before the next time you do something. Yeah. This is what now the new sort of way forward, and just promote that.
I think again with that investigation side, or Anthony wants to bring in, and with the Riddle thing I've moaned about, or legislation, if we can look into that and get these reports out of it, we can lessons learn it, can't you? You can't lessons learn it unless there's something there to learn.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm sure it'll open up like a load of different avenues. And what's the reason why suicide isn't investigated under Riddle? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure there is one, but I'm not too sure why. But I think the biggest one, and Anthony Hegarty said this at the main thing, because we asked him, why do you do it? Because it brings closure to someone's like family and all that sort of stuff. It's not my story to tell. We need look at the podcast. Look at the pod. He tells it himself when we release it.
Comments out, can't you?
Exactly. I'll ping it across. We're luckily enough, we're going to be closing down for Christmas soon, so we can release that podcast, and then hopefully everyone can sort of have a look at it. But if you share it out, people can see what he said about himself, right? And then he's more clued up, educated about it than me. It was very interesting to sort of guide that conversation. And we've been quite lucky at the two pods that we've done. We've had yourself, who's doing an amazing amount. You've had Anthony's done awesome work with that crane report, and we had Chris, Chris is quite impressive himself.
World record holder. Did you see it yesterday? Did it come through? It just come through. He just stuck it up.
Because I know he's looking at his waiting for it to be adjudicated.
Official world record holder, Chris Rogers.
There you go, man. That's buzzing. So there you go. But he's doing so much, and he wants to start his charity, which I'm sure he's talked about a lot as well. But it's immense, right? Doing that, and then Chris Rogers, we've got we're in early talks of with Dave McCabe to hopefully come on our pod after Christmas, and that's Chris Rogers. Knows him from Balfour Beatty. He was a friend, and he's the health and safety lead for Balfour Beatty. So remember when I said I want to talk about those tier 1 sort of things? We'll have that proper conversation. Get his personal aspect about it, but also get like a tier 1's perspective on it, because it's only fair to listen to both sides and get that aspect. So no, it's really interesting. But
we need to tie up on dates and that as well, Al. With Anthony's podcast that you've done with us, we need to make sure it goes out after.
It's not very actual early Feb.
Early Feb.
Yeah, ours will be out. We're going to be releasing ours sort of probably the 19th of December time.
Is it? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So it all works.
So
all works well.
Out, so it'll be nice. And
this man's running away for 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, Australia.
Supercomputers going to Australia.
Apologies.
That's why the mullet's there, isn't it? That's going to Australia. Exactly. Got the mullet.
Fit right in. He's like, I'm looking to go away January. Can that work? We work. So as long as the podcasts are all lined up.
Yeah, that's it. We're all sorted. Yeah.
So
you're out there for Christmas?
On Boxing Day, I go.
Ah, nice. Fair enough.
Yeah, the old cheapest day of the year to fly as well, isn't it?
Pretty much, cheap as possible. Yeah.
I've got a load of mates who go out there for the cricket. They all go watch it. Watch the Ashes though at the moment.
Moving on. James Lewis, my works manager on Crossrail, he's Australian, lives in Melbourne. And I think he might be in Brisbane at the moment. But he messaged me the other day. I was like, Steve, what's going on? What's going on with the cricket, mate? I messaged about it. It's a summer sport.
Yeah.
It's winter here.
The lads are away for a long time.
It's a summer sport. He's like, well, it's summer over here. Well, it's not here. We're not interested.
It's scary, isn't it? It's scary,
but we've done all right, haven't we? But then when they've come in the bat and then we've folded. Do we hold our own, or then we just?
So it's a mentality thing, and like I'm not there. Like I'm very much I'm one of these, and I'm going to sound like I'm sitting on the fence, right? I'm South African, right? So it's easy for me to criticise an English team, but it's not. It's also not easy for me to criticise a professional, because they are professionals in their own right. They deserve to be there. But whether you look at it a mentality thing, you've got to adapt to the scenario that you're being. And are you being a bit stubborn at this point? Because they've all got the class to do it. They've got the quality to do it, right? There's no denying that Ben Stokes can go out and get 100. Joe Root can go out and get 100. But it's about how you go about doing that. Australia are doing all that. And I did this. We had a conversation with Conor Murray. Just at an event, it wasn't like a thing. We just met him there, cool. and obviously my straight thing. He played for Rassie, Erasmus. And my first thing, I was like, "How was it to play for him?" and all that sort of stuff. And the great man. And then he was like, "I've never met someone who just do anything to win." And that's what the Australian mentality is. Like they don't care about numbers. They're looking at, well, we're winning. As long as I win. I don't mind. And that's the sort of mentality England need to go at. They don't need to go, oh, we need to make sure that we play baseball. That's what it seems like to me, but it's easy for me to criticise, right? So, but it's about getting that mentality right and getting the balance.
Is unbelievable.
Oh man, I'd love to meet.
Unreal. The hybrid rugby player now from the back row centre. They say it's been spoken for years about him doing that, but then it's Erasmus. Someone's talking the other day, said, Erasmus was like, well, let's not just think about it, let's put it into action. And that,
he's a giant as well, isn't he? Like, so my boss is 6'5", and I'm 6'3". My boss, I sort of look up to my boss like that. And my boss was like, I've never had to look up to someone like that so much in my life and all that. It's mad. But he just said, it's not fair for me to tell Conor Murray stories, but it was unreal to say. He just said, I've never played for someone who's got like the undesigned. He'll do anything to win.
It's amazing when you hit that high level elite people and their mindset, isn't it? And then you can, name dropping too much, but I done one with Ant Middleton on his podcast, and Ross Edgley. You seen Ross Edgley? Swam around the whole of the UK. He went through Loughborough University. He was heavily into water polo, and he ended up coming out a scientist in the fitness world, basically. So he just trains and puts his body through elite fucking ultra challenges beyond belief to show you the science of how the body works. He's quite a short guy, and everyone was like, you'll never be able to swim around the UK. And he's like, well, I'm a good swimmer at water polo, and I think I can test my body enough to go around. And he done it. He swam the whole way around the UK. Over X amount of 250 days or something. That might be completely wrong, but it was a few hundred days. He didn't touch land that whole time, so he literally went round, got in a boat and sleep, and then get back out and swim. You can watch it all. It's documented all through YouTube. It's unbelievable. About 3 or 4 years ago now. 3 or 4 years ago. He's done marathons, pulling cars and stuff, and he just shows. He's done the longest swim of all time now, and he got there in the end with setting a record. That's all on there. But he was doing one of these longest swim things, and I went on a podcast with Ant Middleton and said, because I knew they'd done stuff together, and I was like, what do you think on Ross doing? Do you reckon he's going to make it? I said, because I've been watching on Instagram, but his Instagram's gone off. So I imagine something's gone wrong. And he said, as a special forces soldier, he said that literally you have to, when it's all about controlling adrenaline, and he said don't go over 50 hours with your adrenaline because your body will just shut down the chemical imbalance, what it does. And he said, well, they had to learn to control that in the special forces. So you could be sitting on your sofa here at home, and then suddenly someone rings up, right, you need to go Sierra Leone now. Yeah. And he has to get up, get in your car, drive casually, get to your base, get your stuff, do whatever, jump on a plane, fly over there, get on a Chinook, go into wherever. And then when that door comes down, then you turn it on. And it's all about, you can't let that adrenaline go before that door. Out. Yeah. So you had to control it and not let that go. And he was trying to teach that Ross Edgley about it and said, don't go over 50 hours. And then a couple of weeks later, it come out, or a couple of days later, online, Ross's event failed. It failed after 52 hours as well. So it was like 2 hours. I thought, if that's that adrenaline thing, I don't know. But I and kind of called that one.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Just knowing that and where your mindset has to be, isn't it? And I think that's like you say, you find these people go, I'm going to win. Like,
I've read his book, man. Like, read Rassie Erasmus's book. It's such a good read. I read it, and he was even to a point where it's not even about players. Like he was famous for this traffic light system when he was managing the clubs in South Africa. Even to a point where he would turn, like some people try to copy him when he turned the lights off on them and stuff like that. It's brilliant, man.
Even to the point he doesn't follow anyone on Instagram, does he, or Twitter? He doesn't follow anyone, no. And then he'll follow someone like a week before the game, and then the whole world's talking about him and his account rather than focusing on the team. You know? It's all mind games.
It's all about mind games. But it's and again, like you said, it's that elite mentality, isn't it? I mean, we're lucky enough as South Africans to watch them actually. Like, I've witnessed South Africa win 3 World Cups in my life and been to 1 final to watch them win it, and that was just I'd always hold that memory. It's amazing. But he's the one at the centre of it, and he's just much to the rugby world's pleasure. He's just signed a new contract to the next World Cup. He's what is he now? He's like he's head of rugby. So he hasn't just changed South Africa. So he implement the first thing he implements, because he loves Ireland, doesn't he? He's got a house out in Ireland. He goes out there, and he does say he would want to move back, and he loves Ireland. But he went out to South Africa, and he started it from kids rugby. So he's put in these basically these factors, these kids rugby progression. I don't want to say when it's wrong, but something to do with the progression of rugby, like club rugby, school rugby, and everything like that.
Pathway.
And he's implemented that and then concentrated on the actual professional game, and it's coming to fruition because he's confident enough. Like, we went for a stage in 2015, I think it was. Well, we were awful. We were awful. But there's like a load of people who just retired, and then he was just like, I'm going to chuck some young guys in there, right? Yeah.
Kiely Group said that the other day, actually, he spoke about the Welsh team the other day, and he mentioned that. He said people realised in 2015 we were awful. Like, these guys, they'll learn, and you'll come back. Because
everyone went to me and goes, why are they doing it? It's like, well, we got to learn. Like, why should someone who's worked really hard miss out on a cap? And
for sure,
because of it. And it's just like, it was most funny though. Erasmus, he's like, why aren't you playing these guys? And he goes, no. But like, everyone keeps telling me that the Welsh bench have got zero caps. So I was like, we've got 6 caps, 7 caps, 5 caps. And he must have forgot because Beth was on the bench and went, 155 caps. He's like, oh, sound.
And he's got himself in a pickle, isn't he? Beth. But this stuff's gone, so it's happened. But Andy Good was saying on the podcast the other day, on the Rugby Pod, there might have been a bit of altercation before it. But
there was. He had a big finger in his eye as well.
They catch up video.
So it's massive.
Has he? Has he been banned?
I don't know. I need to look into it, because I did say if they're going to impose a big ban on Beth, they've got to impose a big ban on your other boy, because it was pretty much the same event, just one was on the ground, one was in the and Beth was pretty
12-week suspension.
Beth got
so it should be the same as the other chap who got it in the eye, because it was ridiculous. Beth's quite a level-headed person, a level-headed pro by what you can see. I've never met him, but he looks like it. And for him to get up and react like that, I don't think that it's out of just. He didn't just get a step on the foot.
He's the ultimate enforcer, isn't he?
Imagine
fucking him coming for you.
I always still say he won.
Knuckles must be just like that.
He won that World Cup final for us with the way that he played and that defence when we were man down. It was unreal. So ultimate professional in my eyes.
That's superb. But anything we haven't touched on? I think we're pretty good, isn't it?
You're spot on, I think, Trent.
Happy days. Dash.
Bang on. Thank you for having me
on,
man.
No, thank you for coming down. No, thanks for bringing us or getting in touch for first. Thanks for inviting us onto your pod. And And thank you for coming all this way as well, because I know we're not around the corner.
Yeah, no, it's all right. We got you. We got you in there.
And then
nice.
on behalf of the industry, thank you to the Kiely Group as well for pushing the boundaries with the way they're going about the market, the media, and supporting the culture of the workforce.
Yeah, it's nice. I've got to put that. Those are kudos to Lauren and Mike, really, but they allow us the freedom to like sort of push out and that, so it's quite cool.
Yeah, and hopefully it stands above the rest, because if we all keep on doing it, the world will be a better place.
That's it. 100%. 100%.
Happy days. But we're what are we now from the next Rugby World Cup? Next year? Year after?
2027.
Oh, we should be peaking by then, England, so we'll be ready.
We got. So as a South African, we've qualified for the only World Cup we're going to qualify in football. So I'm looking forward to that first. so other than hosting it, I don't think we'll qualify for another.
Is that next year?
Next year, yeah. So watch that. I know that we won't do
because the one you went to was
we hosted.
All the vuvuzelas are going.
That's it. Yeah. So it'll be an interesting conversation because there's an Ireland have got a chance of qualifying in our group, so that'll be an interesting workworkplace dynamic if they do.
Yes.
So no, it'll be cool, but it's nice. It's nice to see.
That's going to be a good World Cup. A lot of teams in it this year. Sorry, that's the Rugby World Cup. There's more teams in. Who's in the so Ireland are in?
So in the Rugby World Cup, we've got Mexico. I forgot the third team.
What about the Football World Cup then?
So that's the Football World Cup. We've got
Ireland are in there.
Ireland are possible. They've got to beat Czech Republic and Denmark to get there, but they could be in our group. And then we're in Mexico's group, and then going forward from there. I think Ireland have been given a nice cushy group in the Rugby World Cup, I'm not going to lie to you.
England can get through all the way to the final to play South Africa or New Zealand.
But I think you just might as well put Ireland and England in the semi-final now.
Well, where are the hierarchies, are they?
You've got to play hard. Quarter-final, you'll meet them.
Yeah, and there's a fact.
Ireland even.
No team has ever beaten New Zealand in the semi-final and gone on to win the World Cup. Fact.
Really?
Yeah.
When did we beat them in the final, didn't we?
Yeah, you got in the finals. We beat them in the semis and looked like we beat them in the semis
in 2019 and then lost.
In 2019 and lost to South Africa, and it was everyone goes because whenever you place New Zealand, you play your final in that game. Yeah. You leave everything on the table.
We've got in the 2027 one. Our side of the group, we can play them in the quarters.
It's quarters, yeah.
We play them in the quarters, and then we go on to I think it's like. France have got a nice cushion.
That's going to be a big World Cup, you know.
It's massive.
Yeah. Rugby's coming home.
Yeah. It's Ireland and England's best chance to win it.
Yeah.
I think because you come into a South African team who are probably coming to the.
It's been a long time going,
older
isn't it?
world, and they're going for the three-peat, which let's face it, that's an incredible achievement anyway. So. It's definitely their chance to win.
I cycled to Paris, and so did Alex with me with John Smith last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, with John Smith. That was 2 years ago, the last World Cup. John Smith, George Gregan. And Rocky Clark.
I bet you some stories there.
Yeah. Unbelievable. We sat down in the evening because they were part of the Rugby Centurions network that we were part of. There was 40 people, 10 of us from construction sport. And we went. The funniest one is Sam Sharp with us. Sam's a short prop fella, not fit enough to ride a bike, you'd say, but he's got the heart of a lion and he done it. But we were coming through on the way to Southampton. John Smith had a bike sensor on his electric mountain bike thing, so he's jumped them. He was with us to Southampton, then he come away because he had to get to Paris for some stuff because the World Cup was going on. But Sam was on an actual road racing bike, struggling up this hill, and fortunately, this cameraman caught him as well. Fair play to Alex, kudos. And he's struggling, and he said, Sam's like thinking, my world's over. Yeah. I'm struggling, I'm going to have to give up. And then suddenly John Smith's come behind him, placed his hand on his arse and cycled up because he got the electric and pushed him up. And Sam was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is just the most surreal thing he's ever. And I was like, trying to tell that story to anyone and think that's true, but he caught it on camera.
Bang on,
and,
man.
Cool. It was unbelievable. It was a real good crack. Yeah, we just sit there like, having a cup of tea and coffees and breakfast with George Gregan. Nice. So he lives in Richmond, or this side of London anyway. This side of the country. Sorry?
Nathan Sharp was
Nathan Sharp, big Aussie. He was a real cool guy. Yeah, he's second row. He was one of the lads, wasn't he, by then? But he loved us. It
sounded like a week.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really good experience. And there was a big party, and it was funny, really. There was a few stories, I'm sure. But that was quite interesting. Even John Smith was saying, because this was right when the concussion stuff was coming out. And a lot of countries, there's obviously some links, but South Africa were really by the fact that this is a hard sport. This is what happens.
Oh, in South Africa, you get you, in your schooling system, you get chosen. You have to do two sports. One of them has to be rugby. Yeah. That's literally how everyone plays rugby. You get to. So.
Yeah. There's another South African guy I listened to on the Rugby Pod last week, and he said it. He went, "We need to find the common ground and realise that." if you're going to go in a boxing, you're going to get punched in the head. If you're going to go MMA, you're going to get strangled. We need to understand that if you're going to go to rugby, you're going to get a bang in the head.
Yeah, and you've got to protect it to a sense, but also you can't change the sport.
Yeah,
you can't change the sport.
Yeah, everyone knows what they're going into.
Exactly.
My boots are going on this Saturday.
Oh,
we've got a vets rugby match, festive match.
So sore on Sunday.
Yeah. I've actually got there. And funny enough, there's four of my mates. We've all got our missus around my house for a Christmas brunch deal on Sunday. And I said to them, I'll bring in extra ice. And I'll just have our sofa lined up for the four of us. Yeah, I've not played properly in a few years, but this one should be a good one, actually.
Yeah.
So
where's that?
Only local. They're
nice.
Southland Ferrers Rugby Club. We're doing a memorial game for a lad that passed away a few years ago, Harvey Witzer, and we're playing against Essex Bishops, which is like an invitational team of all Essex-based vets. So, I'm 36 now, so qualifying the vets world. So this is my first vets match as such in that light. And then
I'm just trying to make sure that we've got a bit of a split in our household. My wife's Irish and I'm South African, so I'm at the push to try and make sure my kids go to the South African side. Obviously, Ireland just played South Africa, and we had a very split.
Erasmus might be an Ireland manager by then when they come through.
I don't think so. But
Ash, thanks for coming down, pal.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much.
All
Take
the
care.
best.